Every morning, flight after flight lifts off with a load of my sweet rolls. 747s, 767s, DC-10, New York to LA, Miami to Seattle. So many flights to so many cities with so many of my sweet rolls. So next time you're in the friendly skies, someone says,
"My compliments to the sweet roll man,"
you'll know who they're talking about.
You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
Georgetown and Villanova have met twice this season. In Game 1, Villanova led by 8 points at the half and had a chance to win in regulation, but missed this shot at the buzzer. Then in overtime, Raleigh Massimino kept them close. But Georgetown was too much for the Wildcats, and a shot at the buzzer failed as Villanova lost by 2. In Game 2, the Hoyas won by only 7, but the Villanova players gained a confidence they could play with the champs.
I couldn't have written a better script myself.
We're in no way, in awe of the Georgetown team.
You can feel it that we're there. We're in the final game. One more, and it'll be total hysteria.
NCAA championship. It's an all-Big East Conference affair. The only time in championship history since 1976, when, of course, it was Indiana and Michigan in the Big Ten. Billy, we talked so much about Patrick Ewing. We overlooked some of the other splendid stars on that Georgetown team. I remember Reggie Williams out in Seattle last year.
Well, 2 years ago, he was the #1 high school player in America. Last year, he was the MVP in the championship game. A superlative inside player.
Then there was David Wingate, who hounded Chris Mullen on Saturday.
Not only a super defensive player, this guy has probably the quickest first step with the ball in college basketball.
Over on the Villanova side, Ed Pinckney's the big man, but how about Dwayne McClain?
He's been a streak player throughout his career. Great ability, and on Saturday, he played 40 minutes of great basketball.
Coming up now, it's one game, and a national championship is at stake.
Tonight's 1985 National Championship game between the Villanova Wildcats and the Georgetown Hoyas is sponsored by Chevrolet, who invite you to see, drive, and live today's Chevrolet. Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste. And by Mr. Goodrich and General Motors Parts.
If you expect an engine to start quick, work hard, and last long, remember, the easiest job a Briggs & Stratton engine will ever do is mow your lawn. Ask for Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's championship game, and here's the PA announcer at the Rupp Arena, Frank Fallon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rupp Arena for tonight's NCAA National Championship game between the Villanova Wildcats and the Georgetown Hoyas. Now, let's meet the starting lineups. For Villanova, at forward, a 6'7" junior from Mystic, Connecticut, number 21, Harold Presley. For Georgetown, at forward, a 6'7" senior from Washington, D.C., number 24, Bill Martin. For Villanova, at forward, a 6'6" senior from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 33, Dwayne McClain. For Georgetown, at forward, a 6'7" sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, number 34, Reggie Williams. For Villanova, at center, a 6'10" senior from the Bronx, New York, number 54, Ed Pinckney. For Georgetown at center, a 7-foot senior from Cambridge, Massachusetts, number 33, Patrick Ewing. For Villanova at guard, a 6'2" junior from Paterson, New Jersey, number 4, Dwight Wilbur. For Georgetown at guard, a 6'2" junior from Weston, Virginia, number 30, Michael Jackson. For Villanova at guard, a 6'3" 6-foot senior from Hempstead, New York, number 22, Gary McLean. And for Georgetown at guard, a 6'5 junior from Baltimore, Maryland, number 40, David Wingate. And introducing the head coaches. For Villanova, Rolly Massimino. For Georgetown, John Thompson.
The tip-off is next. It's Georgetown and Villanova.
John Thompson and Bobby Diamond.
Pay for 4, get 3 for free. Pay for 4, get 3 for free.
America's singing the praises of National Car Rental Special Economizer weekly rates. Pay for 4 days at our regular daily rate and you get 3 for free on any car up to a full-size 4-door.
I'll pay for 4. You'll get 3 for free. Pay for 4, get 3 for free.
It pays to get national attention.
I'm Mr. Goodwrench. You know what starts when your engine starts? Engine wear.
50 strokes, 100 strokes, 200 piston strokes of wear per second. Only a fine lubricant can protect it. Like GM Goodwrench Motor Oil, the motor oil from General Motors that meets or exceeds all GM specifications.
Great protection for me, Mr. Goodwrench.
Get great GM feeling with genuine GM parts.
By all means, let's talk about murder.
Anthony Hopkins, Swoosie Kurtz, and Blythe Danner star in The Strangest Love Triangle. 3 people planning the perfect crime, murdering each other.
Louise?
Tuesday.
Georgetown's march toward basketball history began with Lehigh and then concluded with St. John's in the semifinal Saturday afternoon. As for Villanova, they came in 8th seeded in the Southeast region. They beat Dayton at home and then eliminated Memphis State in the semifinal. These two teams have played each other twice this year. Villanova led both times at the half, but then Patrick Ewing and the Hoyas pulled it out. 52-50 in overtime and 57-50 when the rematch was staged in Landover.
Patrick Ewing got that tap. That ought to be Villanova ball. Good call. Brent, when you look at those scores of Villanova in the NCAA tournament, they have played every game in the 50s. That is their game, so fans ought to keep up with that early. Georgetown starts in a 1-3-1 half-court track, trying to force Villanova to go faster.
They get a turnover right away off the defense, and they break free with Jackson, but there was a whistle. Gary McLean committed the foul as they came across the timeline.
And if you're John Thompson, that's exactly what you want to do early in this ball game. Create a pace on defense that forces Villanova to push the ball towards the basket. Now defensively for Villanova, they play a zone defense. They match up to where the Georgetown players are, and they play this matchup zone as well as anybody in the country.
Patrick Ewing, Bill Martin, and now it is Jackson. Swinging it to David Wingate. Here's Martin. Reggie Williams is 34.
And you can see that Georgetown can take whatever you give them. They're very patient offensively. When it's time to run, they run. When it's time to be patient, they're patient.
Jackson misses, but Williams rebounds, comes back inside, and he pushed off. It's an offensive foul on Williams as he drove toward the glass. He pushed into his man.
That was excellent blockout technique that time by Eddie Pinckney, but what happened to him, he was blocking out so much, nobody picked up Williams.
Full court pressure right away by the Hoyas.
Villanova does a good job beating man-to-man pressure because McLean really protects the ball. Now there's the 1-3-1 defense on the part of Georgetown.
Unusual because Ewing comes out in this defense with Martin lurking in behind. Wayne McLean into the corner, and Wilbur, they trap, but Wilbur comes to Eddie Pinckney. Pinckney lost control, but got it to Harold Presley, who put it in. It didn't look pretty, but it counts.
And why that was so effective is Eddie Pinckney took it right at Patrick Ewing to occupy the space. Ewing has such great leaping ability that unless you take the ball to him, he'll cover 2 men at one time.
Pinckney has been bothered the last few days by the flu. When I was over here at the Villanova practice earlier today, he worked early, then sat down for a while, but said he'd be fine tonight. cross court to Jackson.
That zone is basically 2-3, but then they match up.
Wingate.
Off balance and still hit the shot. Great body control. For those that don't see a lot of basketball, that is legal. To step out of bounds and throw it the first pass over.
Trying to get it into Presley. Kicked. And the ball remains in the possession of the Wildcats.
Georgetown can show zone defenses, man-to-man defenses, trapping defenses. They do a little bit of everything.
Wayne McClain with 33. Swings it back to Garrett. Spelled differently. Wilbur getting it to Dwayne, who comes inside, and they're challenging the big fella early.
Now, here you see the tandem defense. Two players playing behind each other, and then they'll drop back in kind of a 2-3 alignment.
Wingate. He hits his first two. And McClain gets it up against that pressure, protecting the ball.
Georgetown now playing man-to-man defense. As I said, they really switch things around. Look for Villanova to try to get the ball to Eddie Pinckney. This defense helps Villanova because they can go ahead and take their time.
Pinckney ships it over to Gary McClain. Dwayne comes inside, and remember, he's a great streak shooter, and he made a brilliant move to get inside pressure that time.
Sensational shot because the defense on McClain was perfect.
Cross court, Williams.
Basket by number 4, Reggie Williams.
And again, what they've practiced to bring the ball inbound against that Hoya pressure. Pinckney far out, puts it down, and he traveled. It'll go over to Georgetown on the turnover.
But Brent, you can see that Eddie Pinckney is used to playing against Patrick Ewing. They've gone against each other for 4 years. Eddie Pinckney's freshman year, one of the great games of all time against Ewing. He's not afraid to take it to Patrick.
Both teams sizzling in the early moments. Georgetown 3 of 4, Villanova perfect.
That defense is backed inside the foul line now, so they're going to give the outside shot to Georgetown.
Ewing will take one outside. Missing, but Martin rebound.
Basket by number 24, Bill Martin.
Presley, a good ball handler. You would expect to see him in the backcourt a lot for Villanova against pressure.
Well, every member of the Villanova team, pretty good ball handler.
Pinckney ships it back. And a foul is called as he rose in the air to make the pass. Pinckney committed the foul.
Very difficult for Eddie Pinckney to put the ball on the floor that far away from the basket. Normally, those two dribbles would get him to the basket. He was 22 feet away, and when you put it on the floor, then the guards can come in and trap. Ewing available for the lob.
But he has to come out against that defense and now sends it to Wingate. They haven't gotten Ewing any easy baskets yet. Jackson from the perimeter.
People that try to compare this Georgetown team with last year's, the big difference is offensively, they're just so superior. Great shooting team. Nice clear out for Barry McClain.
Against the pressure, he gets it up, but he traveled. He made that spinning move against the trap, and Jackson says something right in Gary McClain's face.
And that, again, was a different look by Georgetown. They double-teamed with their guards that time and made it tough for McClain.
Timeout. Georgetown with a 4-point lead. 14:54 left in the first half.
It's a small company. In fact, you're looking at the entire staff. But to the client, they looked as professional as their biggest competitors. Maybe that's because they had the help of Team Xerox. Everything looked perfect with their Xerox memory writer. And they got big copier features right on their desk with a new Xerox Marathon copier. At 9 a.m., they presented their case. By 4 p.m., they got one, with a note saying, please thank your staff for such great work, which happily they did.
We got it! We got it!
Hey, guys, I'm back.
Catch anything, Riley?
Yeah, caught this granddaddy of a fish. But when I got him in the boat, he says, I'll give you 3 wishes if you throw me back.
A talking fish?
Well, it was hot. I was thirsty, so I wished for a nice cold Stroh's beer. And there it was. Tasted so good, I wished for another one.
2 wishes, 2 Strohs.
And what'd you do with the 3rd wish?
Hey, did I forget my friends?
Strohs and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste.
50-year-old Roland Vincent Massimino. In his 12th year at Villanova, played college basketball at Vermont, where he was a reserve guard. Later went on to become a high school coach, then moved to Stony Brook College on Long Island, was an assistant at Penn, was hired by Villanova, and has been a success there ever since. An ideal man for that program. Villanova is perfect shooting from the floor, but they have committed 4 turnovers against that Georgetown pressure already. Inside to Wingate. Oh, Ewing got up in the air, was off balance. He's all right. Harold Jensen has checked into the game for Villanova, number 32.
Credit Eddie Pinckney again. He did not get the rebound, but terrific block out on Patrick Ewing so that Patrick couldn't get position.
This is Harold Jensen.
Jensen, the big star in the North Carolina win. Dwight Wilbur has just not been able to get in the game in the NCAA playoffs.
So difficult to get your shot against Georgetown. McClain comes up and he's been banging away. He's carrying him offensively with those 3 field goals already.
You notice how well Villanova gets back on defense. It's very difficult to get fast breaks against them. Their transition from offense to defense is great.
Williams, double team. Presley goes for the loose ball off Williams, out of bounds, and it goes over. Great play by Harold Presley.
I thought Jensen pulled Williams' arm on that play and got away with a foul. Williams doesn't look strong, but he's awful wiry.
Villanova can tie it this trip.
Wayne McClain looks like he wants to take one again.
They will want to get Jensen into the game if they can. Dumps it off to Pinckney. Maneuvering on Ewing. Missed. Snapped down by Martin. Jackson comes inside. Great pass. He hit David Wingate, who'd come down the baseline.
Oh, you can't appreciate what a great catch that was by Wingate. Has a body flying right over his head and still pulls it in.
Stationing Pinckney out away from the basket. Here's Jensen's first shot, and he's on the money. He's a key man for Nova tonight.
That's what you like, to have a fella come off the bench and play so positively. Jensen has really been on a 3-game tear.
And Villanova is playing positively against Georgetown, something we have not seen throughout this tournament. Georgia Tech pushed them, but in the early going against St. John's, the Hoyas went on a tear in the first and the second halves. Williams with a pump fake, and quickly Pinckney comes over to help out. They get it back to Ewing.
Fine defense by Villanova again, not to let Reggie Williams have that baseline, even though he had the good pump fake and was open. Pushed by Pinckney.
Jump hook by Ewing's on the mark.
Dangerous crossover by McClain. He had the ball up awful high. Notice how the senior McClain pulls things back out and again sets up the tempo that Villanova wants. He never rushes the action.
Pinckney outside. Now remember that he's a natural forward. They've moved him to the center because he simply is the biggest man and the toughest inside. But when he came to this school as a freshman, burly John Pannone was the the center, and Pinckney operated out on the wing. So he can bring Ewing outside, as he has been doing here tonight. Williams, great player, doesn't get enough credit.
We're looking at a guy that didn't make first or second team all
Almost stolen by Wingate. Villanova gets it back.
McLean wants it right back. Feisty player.
Jackson and McLean will be a marvelous duel, and of course John Thompson can also send Horace Broadbacks out after him. Dwayne McLean puts it down, lost it out of bounds, it goes over. That's the 5th turnover by Villanova.
And Brent, you can make physical mistakes for Rollie Massimino, but not mental ones, and McLean made a mental one that time. No sense going inside knowing Ewing's there. Rollie Massimino really upset with that last play.
Ewing sends it back to the corner to Williams, and he's 2 for 2 the last 2 trips.
Now the double team starting to give Villanova a lot of problems. Notice how they keep the double team on because they know they have Patrick Ewing in the back to protect.
Will this pressure wear down Villanova? They are not as deep as Georgetown. Pinckney rushes for the loose ball, puts it down, comes inside, gets it to Presley, and Ewing came back, but Presley hit it.
You notice Patrick Ewing came about 25 feet on that pass, almost got there in time, but good play by Eddie Pinckney. The score a little higher than Rollie Massimino would like, Brent. If you look up there, we're under 10 minutes now, 18-14.
Reggie Williams is just dead-eye from that corner. He has hit his 4 shots in this game so far. Remember, he came off the bench in last year's championship against Houston and won the MVP by scoring 19 points. And there, Martin, another of the seniors, knocks the ball out of bounds. And here comes a freshman, Harry McDonald. We've got a timeout. But already, John Thompson is starting to go to his bench. And we'll see that Hoya depth when you come back.
In all the universe, there's never been anything like the new size Chevy Astro. It stands alone.
Chevy Astro.
The new size Chevy Astro runs rings around all the other new vans. With the only available V6, the new Vortec V6, plus the highest towing capacity available, up to 5,000 pounds.
Chevy Astro.
Behind Astro's swing-out rear doors is deep space. No other new size van offers more cargo room or more people room, with available seating for up to 8 in a size that fits your garage. All this, plus a slippery aerodynamic design. New size Chevy Astro, an astronomical combination of features, but a down-to-earth value.
Chevy Astro.
When it comes to new ideas in vans, nothing works like a Chevy van.
In 1942, Byron Nelson's one-stroke victory over Ben Hogan was one of the greatest playoff matches in golf history. A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
Saturday afternoon against St. John's, Michael Jackson handed out 11 assists. Already here tonight he has 4. This was the prettiest. Wingate cut in behind, worked down the baseline and hit the field goal.
Well, what was so great about that is Wingate caught the ball in traffic and then even going full speed was able to stop on a dime and not be walking. I mean, you've got to be a good assist man, you have to have fellas that can catch the ball in traffic, and that's what Georgetown does so well. Jackson, you know, we're talking about 15 assists in a game and a quarter. Here's the trap again.
As Billy pointed out, the points are starting to mount up, and Massimino prefers a lower scoring game than what he's in right now.
Matter of fact, I think Villanova would be smart to pull it out a while.
Dwayne McLean drew the foul from Martin.
Brent, when you look at the score, and we said this at the top of the show, you multiply Georgetown's total now times 4, and you're talking about an 80-point type game. In an 80-point type game, Villanova cannot win. They have to slow this pace down a little bit. And the way it looks, they're going to have to do it on offense.
You know, this game is being seen around the world via satellite by our servicemen and women through the Armed Forces television service tonight. Also being heard on radio. And I understand I mentioned earlier Big John Panone is playing basketball over in Spain. He's watching tonight. His brother Steve, of course, he sits on the bench over there for Raleigh Massimino, and he certainly wanted to send along his best to his brother and hope he's enjoying it at the early hour in the morning over there.
Plain continues to hit. Villanova picks up full court. Georgetown blows right by him.
With that great quickness, and here's McDonald. Pinckney rebounds.
And here's where Villanova cannot afford to get in a run-shoot game. Pull it back out, try to slow this game down a little.
Jackson with Jensen there. Better than normal against this tough defense. Stolen by Wingate, but he can't run it down after he tapped the ball. Gary McLean sealed him off. And Wingate is so quick defensively, he always gets his hand in on the basketball.
Good point, Brennan. John Wooden always said it's hard to teach quickness. That's what he tried to recruit, was quickness. If he had to take one particular asset of a player, and you saw Wingate go almost 18 feet there to knock that ball out of the way.
Brodnax is number 32, who just checked in. Jackson sits down.
Now, obviously, Georgetown, a big advantage on that bench. Villanova will have to go primarily with these 5 players plus 1 sub. The zone changes again.
Jensen gets it to McLean.
Pull it back out.
Bounce to Pinckney, who will come up on Ewing. Ewing sprawling to the ground, tried to draw the offensive foul. And I'll tell you, they have been more successful inside against Ewing than any team I've seen in the tournament to date, and that includes Georgia Tech.
I think the reason for that, Eddie Pinckney may be the quickest big man in the country in terms of getting the ball in the lane and turning on a guy like Patrick. Normally, Patrick Ewing is the man that has the quickness advantage.
Traveling on the turnover, he double dribbled.
John Thompson coming back with a substitute. McDonald, an outstanding player, very gifted, but doesn't have the experience in a game like this one.
It is so important against Georgetown not to let them get that early big lead. Villanova can tie the game at 20 this trip.
Wayne's got to watch the trap. We're talking about a team with 3 seniors that have been in the wars a lot.
McLean with a spinning move is tied it at 20.
He turned around coming back up court and spit on the floor like, take that, fellas.
Look at this shooting percentage against Georgetown. They have come to the summit, and both of them are playing like champions. Brodnax.
Brett, maybe Jimmy Boeheim knew something. Hey, he faced these teams so many times. The coach of Syracuse said, St. John's cannot beat Georgetown, but Villanova can. And that was before the Memphis State game. The pace for Villanova is going to tell in the second half at this stage.
Great pass to Pinckney from McLean. Simply missed the shot, but it was that snap pass.
Eddie Pinckney's laughing. He loved the pass and knew he should have had it.
Georgetown on defense has been scoreless for the last 2:35. Villanova's running off 6 in a row. Presley couldn't get up on it. He's a strong rebounder, and now the Hoyas will try to end their drive. And Pinckney reached in from behind. Shouldn't have done that on Brodnax. Should never have given the official the opportunity to call that foul out.
You're right, Brent. He was chasing a quicker man and a smaller man down the court. It was better to run and take his position defensively. Eddie goes for the steal, and that's the second one. And that's a cheap one. That could come back to haunt him.
Ewing so far against Massimino's defense is 1 of 3 from the field. They have not been able to get him that easy slam.
Villanova stays in that matchup. 2-3 zone defense, which they play so well.
At least 2 men watching Ewing on that side. Williams trying to come up. He is short. Goes for the rebound. Takes it away from Pinckney, and then Jensen fouled Williams. And Massimino said, I was so close.
Again, Reggie Williams showing he's one of the great offensive offensive rebounders in college basketball. Again, look at that physique. He doesn't look like he'd be tough inside, but he's so wiry and so quick. He gets a lot of rebounds. Good pass out by Patrick Ewing. Rather than try to force it, gets it right back.
Now he turns around inside. Presley coming up, and Wingate was over his back on the rebound.
There's the play on the inside. Patrick had just fed the ball back outside. Then he turns with that patented jump shot of his, doesn't make it. Presley with a good rebound. Wingate doesn't get there in time.
Mark Plansky has checked in for Villanova, and Ed Pinckney will take a break here at the 6:36 mark. Harold Presley putting it on the floor. They go to trap him in the corner. He tries to come free, and it goes over. He could not. And again, that trap defense.
Right, Brent. Now, Presley's job is merely to get the ball over half court, not to get down in the corners. Had he stopped as he got over the 10-second line, he'd have had an opportunity to give that ball out. You can't take it to the corners against a club like Georgetown.
Again outside. It's knocked away, and Jensen's got it. Presley's ahead. Hoyas come back quickly. Here's Presley. Ewing back for the rebound.
Again, there's Patrick Ewing, all 7 foot of him, running the full 90-foot distance and getting there for the rebound. And he's getting a little heat from John Thompson. He wants him down low to get in there to rebound.
Williams gets behind. Presley misses, but he's got that offensive rebound, and Plansky fouled him.
Is he quick off his feet, or is he quick off his feet? You'll see Reggie Williams go up here. There he goes up once. He comes down. He goes up. He comes right back again. 3 times right off his feet before the other players can get off twice.
Mark Plansky, his first, team's fifth.
Jensen and Plansky, of course, have both come off the Villanova bench. Ewing will sit down, and Thompson lectured him as he came off the floor about just what you said, staying out too far away from the basket, trying to dribble the ball, and gave up the ball on the turnover.
A point about John Thompson's theory on big men. He said he doesn't want a pivot man that can shoot jump shots. He wants a pivot man that can play around the hole, and that's exactly what he was telling Patrick. He's received that lecture since his freshman year.
Now the veteran Ralph Dalton moves in, and the Hoyas do not lose all that much with Dalton on the floor. Williams comes in and picks up his miss and puts in a field goal. There he is again, slicing like a hot knife through butter. And the rebound. Comes back with the steal.
That's a sensational turnaround. Villanova in a position to take a 2-point lead, finds himself 2 down. A 4-point turnaround on Williams' efforts.
Puts it on the floor, gets inside the defense. It goes over. Williams and Wingate got a little too close, and Raleigh is saying he traveled when he put it down. That's what he was protesting that time to the official.
Part of that is working the official. Now Villanova trying to force tempo too much. There's no hurry there.
Ewing is going to return.
Patrick wants to get in the game so bad, he just knocked over half the scorer's table.
Took that possession arrow and banged it off the floor. They've recovered it. Martin will sit down for the Hoyas. How about the points off of those turnovers?
Yeah, that's part of Georgetown's story. They beat you in so many ways, and that's certainly one of them.
Here's Dalton. He'll stay on the floor, has it rejected, and it'll go over to Villanova.
That was some block by Presley. Now, Presley on Saturday had a 1-for-8 game, and we both thought he played a sensational basketball, and that's why.
I care about you, the way you look, the way you set me free. I care about you, 'cause you're special to me.
We Americans think our cars are pretty special, and they are. So Valvoline makes specialized motor oils to meet their special needs, like Valvoline All Climate for stop-and-go driving, and Valvoline Turbo 5 for turbocharged cars. Valvoline, because your car is special.
'Cause you're special to me.
Live today's Chevrolet with Cavalier.
Fly the coupe, pop the top, the look is trim, real
Today's Cavalier has the electronic fuel-injected power and front drive you're looking for, plus an interior that comforts your very soul. Pick the Cavalier that fits your life.
Chevrolet announces low 8.8% financing for a limited time on all new Chevy Cavaliers.
Chevy.
On the Williams free throw, Coach Massimino moved Gary McLean in just to Williams' right, but he can't get over to seal him off. Williams comes through and he's got the field goal.
That was just poor execution, Brent. You've got to move as soon as that ball is released out there. You got to move over there and get in the way of the shooter. You got to block him out.
Billy, you pointed out the score. We've got another 5 minutes, and Georgetown has only scored 2 points since that 9:52 mark.
That's right. Now we're getting back into a situation where you look at the score and you say, hey, it swung back to the tempo that Villanova wants. At the 10-minute mark, Georgetown had 20 points. That's an 80-point game. Now it looks like we're getting back down to a 60-point game.
Dalton and Ewing together on the floor.
Now you notice Presley that time did not go down in the corner. That was the wise thing to do. Straight man-to-man by Georgetown.
Ewing coming over on Pinckney, and Jackson has possession. Marvelous defense. Jackson trying to come through, though. Ewing goes crashing to the floor for the loose ball.
Patrick Ewing, that's why he's such a super player. He runs 80 feet, dives for the loose ball. No prima donna there. I thought he committed a foul, but got away with it, but still, what an effort.
Takes the inbounds pass. Shakes off Jensen.
Jensen gets away from those elbows.
Wingate to be short. Pinckney rebounding.
Wise move by Eddie Pinckney. There was a semi-fast break there, but Villanova doesn't want a fast break. Eddie just wants to walk down the court. Very smart. That's the key to this club. We're talking about a senior team here.
Ewing trying to keep Pinckney from coming through the baseline, and he was effective defensively inside.
They'd like to get the ball to Eddie Pinckney, but it's
They did him behind Ewing, and he was fouled. Williams coming back. That's his second personal.
Now, there's a lot to that defense. Great weak side defense here by Williams, recognizing that Patrick Ewing's out of place. The other thing that's the key here, Brent, is that the Georgetown teammates don't want anybody to dunk on Patrick Ewing. And you watch Williams come across here. He makes sure there was no dunk on that play.
You know, there is a sad note surrounding the Villanova team. Al Severance passing away back in Philadelphia this morning. Raleigh Massimino telling me that he was Villanova basketball. He coached his team for 25 years, and at the first Final Four in 1939, Coach Severance took Villanova into the semis and lost to Ohio State. That was played at Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois.
And Brent, during his days, they were the cradle of coaches there. You had Ramsey and McCluskey, Duty Moore, Harry Litwack, etc. Great coaches during that period of time in Philadelphia.
Ewing got his position. They won't stop that. That's where Thompson wants him, down low.
And John smiled on that one. And here comes a full court zone trap. Great pass. And a turnover by Presley that's not called. Sensational pass by Eddie Pinckney.
Maybe he does play better, sir. Presley comes inside, gets the high arc, and got the roll.
Everything's falling. Not a good shot.
They're not scared, are they?
They certainly are. Now with Georgetown having the two bangers.
Oh, and Ewing comes with the lob, and he says, let's go.
Well, just go back a couple of minutes when John Thompson took Ewing out, gave him a pretty good tongue lashing, telling him, get down around the basket.
Gary McLean. But it goes back to up-tempo.
That's right. This is...
Now it's Ewing at the other end.
Patrick Ewing was the man that went out to block that jump shot, and then he ended up down into the basket. He is putting on some show. Here's the zone trap again.
And Pinckney was fouled by Dalton. Martin returns for the Hoyas. Dalton will sit down.
Brennan, the days when you had the superior teams. Here we see Patrick Ewing timing this pass beautifully, going about 1.5 feet over the basket and slamming it down through. Watch this pass by Jackson. That's got to be assist number 5 or 6 already. Sensational catch and shot. That was the 6th assist by Jackson. 17 in less than a game and a half.
Jensen comes baseline inside of Williams and creates a shot.
Hey, Villanova's a good team, but they are a great team so far tonight.
Chuck Everson is playing now. He's a 7-foot, 1-inch junior out of Brentwood, New Jersey. And again, Pinckney will get a rest here by Coach Massimino. Last 2 minutes of the first half. Jackson dishes to Martin, turns, and Everson had a hand on it. Gary McLean, and now Villanova can go ahead.
And they ought to hold on to the ball for a while right here. And they are. They're going to 4 corners. They're going to try to spread Georgetown out and hold the ball for the rest of the half. A great move by Rollie Massimino, because he has Eddie Pinckney on the bench, and he does not want to do this. Now, Georgetown will counter with a 1-3-1 trap. They will not let him hold it.
John positioning his players defensively, keeping them back in that zone alignment that you see. And what you are watching again is a relic. Almost everyone agrees that they'll go to the 45-second shot clock next year in this tournament.
I think John Thompson's had a great year coaching his club, but right now I don't know why he would allow Villanova to hold the ball. This really plays into Rollie Massimino's hands. He's got to go out and chase him. Now he's asking for a warning by the referee, but as long as Villanova throws the ball past that white hash mark, they are not in violation.
You can see Dwayne McLean standing just inside the hash mark on your screen, and Jensen is just inside it. You can see them playing catch right there, so no warning will be given.
And I think Georgetown should come out for another reason. They're not in the 1-and-1 yet. They could come out and aggressively attack Villanova, and even if they foul, Villanova doesn't get any foul shots. Rollie Massimino has to be so happy now that he's getting by with this strategy. Kind of amazing.
With Georgetown leading by 1 point. And the clock running down here in the first half of this NCAA championship game in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Brent Musburger with Billy Packer, and we certainly hope you're enjoying this one.
Georgetown goes man-to-man, and again, I can't understand why they allow Villanova to hold this ball.
Now they get it inside to Presley. He comes inside on Ewing. It wouldn't stay, but he comes back with the rebound. They went right at the big fella. Wingate comes free for the jump shot, but time has expired. And Villanova, for the 3rd time this year, has taken the lead, and we had a little bit of a scrape underneath the basket at the end of the first half. Massimino is furious.
And we're going to have no call on a foul. Brent, that has to be a big plus for Rollie Massimino.
Look at Massimino lead his troops back to the locker room, and Thompson saying, what's going on here?
All right, there's the shot by Wingate. Actually, the half ended right here. Everson goes. Williams goes after him. A good no call by the referee. Should have to call that a double foul or a no call, and it was a no call. I think a critical mistake by John Thompson at the end of the half. You've got Pinckney on the bench. You've got to go after him.
All right, let's go upstairs to Dick Stockton. Dick.
Well, maybe the coronation is going to have to be delayed a little, because the Villanova Wildcats, who were down by 6 points, came back and lead 29-28. We'll have videotape highlights and a lot more coming up after this commercial message and this word from your local station on CBS.
I tell you, there's nothing like a hot steam bath and a cold light beer from Miller.
That's the truth. Light doesn't fill you up, so you can sit back and relax a while.
Ah, that tastes great.
Hey, Ben, how about another cold one? Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Hey, wait a minute.
That ULC?
I didn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, get out of here!
I dropped my hat. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Life's not always easy, and no one said it's fair.
Only one card provides peace of mind for nearly 80 million Americans. The Blue Cross and Blue Shield card.
But you can find some peace of mind when you hold on to the one that cares. Carry on with the life you're living. Carry the caring card.
The Blue Cross and Blue Shield card.
I've driven a lot of sports cars, but to get a legendary one for under $11,000, you're only talking Mazda RX-7.
Cockpit's very well thought out. Everything's right where it should be. And nothing delivers power as smoothly as Mazda's rotary engine, all the way up through all 5 gears. Near perfect balance, too.
At $10,945, sports car value just doesn't get any better. Mazda RX-7.
Tonight's 1985 National Championship game is sponsored by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. And by light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer. And less. This is CBS.
City O's has been selling Oldsmobiles since 1919 and has earned a reputation for selling for less and servicing best. But new Oldsmobiles aren't the whole story. At City O's, you can always count on service satisfaction, whether it's parts, body shop repairs, or mechanical services that you need. City O's has a fine selection of quality used cars plus daily rentals and lease cars. In other words, City O's is down the road with you all the way. If I can ever be of any assistance, see me. My desk is right on the showroom floor.
Vince Bagley and Chris Thomas introduce you to the players and people who make Orioles 85 a whole new ball game. Wednesday night at 8, right here on 11.
Welcome back to Rupp Arena, and there is a star of last year's Georgetown National Championship effort, the great defensive player Gene Smith, who's now an alum and one of the many greats who has played for Georgetown. But the Hoyas find themselves in a battle at halftime, and in fact, for the 3rd time this year, Villanova has the lead over Georgetown at the half. 29-28 is our score, and the amazing statistic thus far is the fact that Villanova has shot 72% in the first half, 52% for Georgetown, and they have weathered a Patrick Ewing storm. Well, it's been a terrific week in Lexington, Kentucky, one of the smallest cities ever to host a Final Four, Greensboro being the other smallest, and they really rolled out the red carpet. Not a big dome stadium, but Rupp Arena, certainly a more intimate setting, the home of the University of Kentucky, where Adolph Rupp dominated for so many years as a great coach. Part of the magic of the NCAA tournament is that it brings together teams, fans, and the media from around the U.S., and when the Final Four hits town, people's images and impressions are bound to change. People have always thought of Lexington as a one-horse town in which the sounds of the village blacksmith summed up the entire city. But as visitors arrived this week, they discovered that Lexington's charms are hard to refuse.
I can hear Kentucky calling me.
Holding the NCAA tournament in a basketball-crazed town like Lexington just added fuel to the fire. If it said Final Four on it, people bought it. And when they weren't buying, there were carriage rides to show off the countryside the natives are so proud of.
This is the most hospitable place they was ever at, in every way, shape, or form.
The teams weren't overlooked, receiving their share of bluegrass hospitality. The public practice let fans and players get acquainted with each other. And while some watched in awe, others sought out autographs. Meanwhile, the coaches in town for their convention also had a chance to relax.
Most coaches' golf swings would make you vomit.
The strangest event all week took place on the Kentucky campus. On the same backboards Coach Rupp's team helped make famous. Students created Final Four art using paint, a ball, and a strong imagination. You wonder just what the Baron would have thought.
He would have changed the name of the Fabulous Five to the Filthy Five if this had occurred back in his days.
Final Four week in Lexington, Kentucky, and we'll be back with more, plus videotape highlights of the first half when we continue in the national championship game in just a moment.
In
Incredibly, 90% of all major banks make their international payments through one computer network from Burroughs Corporation. Every day, billions of dollars are transferred in seconds around the world. And after more than 300 million transactions, the network has never once broken down. Reliable systems like this are just one example of Burroughs' commitment to be the best computer company in the world.
The promise of America is opportunities, not guarantees. That challenge lit a fire under countless entrepreneurs who started businesses that boomed and built the country. Today, I still see enormous opportunities in the hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering such emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities, come grow with us.
There have been a lot of great McDonald's crew kids in the last 30 years. Where are they today?
Here's looking at you kids, McDonald's crew kids. You sure have gone a long way.
To the stars in our sky still shining on high.
Our unsung heroes who carried the day. You make it a good time.
Hats off to everyone who's kept those arches shining.
For the great taste of McDonald's.
You too can be part of the action at next year's NCAA Final Four. Tickets to the 1986 championship are $46, which includes admission to the semifinals and final game in Dallas. Send your name, address, and phone number along with the cashier's check or money order to NCAA Final Four, United Missouri Bank of Kansas City, Post Office Box 1986, Kansas City, Missouri 64141. Not more than 4 tickets per order, please. Your application must be received by April 15th.
The preceding message was provided by the NCAA.
It's great to have friends and teammates to support you, but friends who want you to get high or get drunk are not friends at all. Drugs are not going to help you through the tough times or make the good times any better. Drugs prevent you from being your best. Please feel free to turn to others around you. Talk to your coach, your parents, or school counselors and get the support that you need. Don't let drugs make a loser out of you.
The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Dick Stockton back at Lexington, Kentucky in the NCAA National Championship game. The Villanova Wildcats, the huge underdogs, lead Georgetown, looking for their second consecutive national championship, 29-28 at the half right now. Georgetown started out with tremendous perimeter shooting, and Reggie Williams, who scored 10 points to lead the Hoyas in the first half, was able to be effective against the overload on the 2-3 zone. Reggie Williams with a tremendous half. Here's he is, wide open from the corner, scoring 2 of his 10 points, and Georgetown moved out to a 6-point lead. The pace was really going too quick for the Villanova Wildcats, who were expecting the score to be in the 50s and could very well be that way. But the pace slowed, and it was Ed Pinckney who came into the 4, very important in the middle, and this was the patience showed by the Villanova Wildcats. Harold Jensen came in off the bench, and in the lane, Ed Pinckney got a basket, one of 6 unanswered points to tie the game for the Villanova Wildcats. Then Patrick Ewing went on a binge and scored 3 stuff shots inside, but Villanova came right back. And at the end of the first half, we had a bit of a controversy when Reggie Williams pushed Chuck Everson right here. Everson is number 41 at the bottom of your screen, and watch Williams give him a shove. Raleigh Massimino came on the court looking for a foul, none was forthcoming, and so at the half, a surprise. Without question, people were crowning the Georgetown Hoyas, but we still have 20 minutes of basketball to go. 29-28 to score. And we'll be back with Brent Musburger and Billy Packer in the second half coming up after this commercial message from Lexington.
Fly Delta to Europe.
To London. It's the only place to holiday.
And Delta gets you there.
Quite.
Frankfurt and Germany is the only place to have a good time. But Delta gets you there.
Come to Paris. Need I say more? And Delta gets you there, too. London, Frankfurt, or Paris. The choice is yours.
When you open a can of Colt 45, you'll get more than smooth, mellow, cool malt liquor.
You'll take a ride on the wild side.
You have Michelin tires in your car, don't you?
Yeah.
How come?
Well, I don't know. They're terrific tires. Why?
How come I don't have Michelins in my car?
Oh, sweetheart, they cost more. I drive to work. I go out of town a lot. All you use your car for is shopping, driving Amy around. I'll get you a set tomorrow.
You sure you want to spend the extra money on us?
Come on.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
How many shicks can you get from one disposable shick?
Monday. Chick, chick. Chic. Tuesday. Chick, chick. Chic. Wednesday. Chick, chick. Thursday. Chic. Friday. Chic, chic.
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday. Chic, chic. Chic. Sunday. Chic, chic. Chic, chic.
How many shicks does your disposable give you?
Chic, chic.
Capture the thrills of the 1985 Basketball Championship. Relive the excitement. Share the memories. Here's your chance to order the 1985 Final Four program. This feature-packed magazine will be a collector's item for years to come. Send a check or money order for $6 to NCAA Program, Box 1985A, Lexington, Kentucky, 40594. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
We are back, about ready to start the second half. Billy, I want to go back in on that controversy. We have another angle now showing how Williams teed off on Everson down here. Watch the referee in the background. He's watching it all the way. Williams comes up with his arms right there, much like an offensive tackle trying to ward off the charge of a defensive end, hit him high. I think a foul should have been called.
Well, very possibly. What I think happened to Williams is that he felt Everson with a block out of the hip and he turned around and retaliated. But he doesn't have any excuse for doing that. And if you're on top of it as official, I have to agree with you, Brent. I think you've got to go for the call.
All right, we'll come back with the second half after this commercial and a word from your local stations.
Renault introduces 5 years or 50,000 miles. Plus, protection on required maintenance. Small car protection even better than Chrysler. 550 plus on all Renaults like the Alliance sedan. Stylish Renault Encore and 8.5, America's lowest factory financing. European technology with America's best small car protection. Only from Renault.
There. You want to try something tough? Try taking this check to a widow with young kids. I've had to do it twice. You can imagine how I would have felt had I not kept in touch over the years and made sure that that check did what I told them it would. I wouldn't be able to face them. That's why I like being a State Farm agent. When we write life insurance, we work together with people and do it right.
And like a good neighbor.
And staying in touch keeps it right.
State Farm is there.
This is CBS.
Who says man was not meant to fly?
Air Jordan. Basketball by Nike.
George Jefferson. J as in jerk, E as in me, F as in...
Fun. Weekdays at 4:30 on 11.
I just spoke with referee Don Rutledge, and he said they did not call a personal because they thought that it was not intentional and not flagrant. Raleigh Massimino disagreeing with that. Rutledge is one of the referees, along with John Clockerty and Bob Diebler. They are working this national championship game. And what a surprise. Georgetown trailing, but remember, in their two previous meetings, Villanova led each time at the half, and the Hoyas came back to win it. Ewing. Georgetown regains the lead that quickly.
That was a great shot by Patrick Ewing because Eddie Pinckney thought he had it timed perfectly. Dangerous pass. You notice this is what makes it so tough on Georgetown to force Villanova. Villanova just gets the ball over half court. They don't worry about attacking against it. Very patient. Some teams try to take it down into Patrick Ewing. and that's when they get in trouble and turn it into a pace game.
Gary McLean with Michael Jackson on him. Presley, double team, ships it out to McLean.
McLean got pushed.
Pinkney to Harold Jensen from the perimeter.